Says so whenever.
I'm ready. All right, so tell us about the course today. How did it play?
It played well. It's a tricky course. You have to work the ball off the. There's at least 2 or 3 holes that go left to right, 2 or 3 that go right to left. So, and the rough is definitely a challenge. So it makes it that much more important to be in the fairway, so you can approach these tiny greens with control. So really, it tests every part of your game. It starts from the tee, and obviously the greens are so small that it makes being in the fairway and hitting your second shot well. And the greens have so much slope that they're not rolling as fast as they could, but they're still a good challenge.
We can tell that you're a professional because of your demeanor here. I don't know if it's because you shot 3 under, you're 4 under, you're top 10 right now, and things are looking good to make this cut and play tomorrow. But also, you've had some tournaments under your belt, man. You're a seasoned professional. But talk about this tournament in particular. What is so important about the Connecticut Open for David Pastore?
It's a tournament I've never won. I've won a few. It's just a tournament, that I'd really like to add to my resume. 2 times. So, man, it's just a.
What do you consider your home course in Connecticut?
I have 2 young brothers, and all 3 of us grew up caddying there when I turned professional. So, John Powell, great to me. Home for me.
Dibs talking to the pros that people about, and we love side of professional golf. So you've PGA Tour Americas, the Canadian Tour. Talk about like your grind and maybe some things that aren't mattering. Look like, man, David Pastore, pro golfer. He's got it made.
No, I mean, I definitely, I try to remind myself that, I'm lucky to be doing this, that I've been playing for 11 years now and traveled really like all over the world and playing golf. So I love hitting, but absolutely, and not really making, the higher ranks. So definitely on the $20 a night or whatever. So, it's not as luxurious as sometimes it seems, just being away from, a lot of and kind of deep municipal courses just for qualifiers, and, you're shooting 6 under and missing by 2. So it's, it's more or less just because you, especially working with you, you're not succeeding as much as you're failing. So it's tough to deal with that and to kind of keep going despite that. But like I said, I try to remind myself that, just to be able to keep doing it. I've had a few people support me financially. Just to be motivated to keep going is, more than a lot of guys can say.
Talking to David Pastore, pro golfer here at the Connecticut Open. So it took me 5 years to get to the major leagues. When you're playing, it's fun. When you're traveling and all the other stuff, it's not fun.
Yep.
So you have to be competitive out there. You have brothers that play. We interviewed Bill Hermanson. This guy's won the club championship here 27 times. I mean, he's still playing 50 years later. I mean, this is a sport you can play till you die. Pretty much, and it's got to be fun. So where are you now? How often do you practice and work on specific parts of your game, or are you just playing and trying to win, all these different opens?
Worse. So I try to do both, and try not to get too sucked into golf swing or whatnot. As I've gotten older, I've gotten, a few nagging injuries, so that it's a little bit of a count in terms of how, it's a great game. There's so many aspects to it.
Can I back you up to the injuries?
Yeah, sure.
Like, what are specific? We talked to a golfer yesterday. He's 24. He's like, I got a bunch of injuries. I'm like, Jesus, you're already hurt at 24.
No,
what are some
back pain, hip pain, like,
Oh, jeez. I mean, I
in a week, and then do that 3-4 weeks in a row. Like, just being able to walk and be healthy to do that is I know it's not like football or basketball in terms of a strenuous, but you have feet, ankles, knees, hips, like you got healthy to do that. But yeah, I've had some back pain the last few years that just been struggling to fix, and seeing a little bit of progress, so that's kind of keeping me optimistic.
Talk about your relationship with your brother and going through this at the same time. Like, take us back to the younger days when you guys were competitive, and now what is it like? Is it a friendly competitiveness? Is it a partnership? Like, how does it work with the Pastores on tour?
It's funny you mentioned the I'm very kind of even keel, partly my nature, but also partly I try to underreact to everything on the course, just good or bad. I find that suits me. And my game is kind of more consistent, kind of, I don't know, 2 to 5 under par most of the time is what I try to do. And my youngest brother who's playing here today is, he hits the ball further, he's streakier with the putter, and like when he's low, he's really low. But, he's a little bit less consistent than I am. But yeah, I have 2 younger brothers. We were all 2 years apart, and so I was always a little bit better than the middle. The middle was always a little bit better than the youngest, just because of size difference and as we're growing. But once we kind of hit college, we all played Division I. I played at Virginia, UConn, and Hartford. So once we were all kind of developed, that was fun to just play against each other. And the youngest one, who's here, played the Canadian Tour with me for a season. So it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a great game. It's something I could we'll be able to share forever, playing different courses, different places. Just
do you guys talk to each other this week? Have you even talked at all in the last 48 hours? It sounds honestly, like a no.
It's a no, honestly. He gave me a fist bump before I teed off yesterday, but I stayed like with a friend up here last night, so we've kind of been on different wavelengths for this tournament. We're on different waves for the tee time, so that's hard because we're just on a different schedule.
Right.
But we play all the time. I mean, we played Sunday night before the first round. He beat me by 5 for 9 holes. So
what?
Yeah. Wow. I made 9 pars. He shot 5 under. So that's what, like I said. I mean, he can, when he's hot, he's really hot. He's a great player. So.
Are you excited at how much golf has grown just in the last 5 years? I mean, Tiger exploded the game, but then COVID made a lot of people go out and fall in love with golf. But now you see colleges. Alabama spent $46 million, excuse me, on their facility. Are you excited by where golf is going, especially like even at the college level?
I do. I think, you can see it in the competition level, the scoring, just the amount of sub 60 rounds on all the tours in the last 5 years. I'm trying to think. Private clubs are, at capacity. There's, I think in general, the level of golf on the PGA Tour, just golf seems to be doing really well. And so, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the best players playing in the same tournaments more often. So who knows what's going to happen with the, Live merger, but that's interesting development.
What's up with Virginia golf, man? Like coming in raiding New England. Is it the Mike Morgan connection? Because he was coach there, right?
He was.
And then we've got like 3 or 4 guys that are on the team right now from our state and our area. What's up with that? Like, what's the unique link that gets all these players from the Northeast down to Virginia?
I think you just have 1 or 2, and coach builds a trust and kind of relationship with players, and he can ask them and recruit other guys from that. And we've had a lot of success there. It's a great program. I think Ben has taken the program to another level. We were kind of always a top 20 program, but now we're competing for national championships and runner up last year. So I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's a great combination of athletics and and academics. So it appeals to a lot of players.
Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time, continued success, and thank you for